Hey everybody, welcome to the Canter Fire Truck Series.
Welcome to the Canter. As you've seen through the videos throughout the build series, it's been a lot of hard work that's gone into this, and we're happy to say it's finally done. We do have some testing and stuff to do on the truck, but so far the tests we have run absolutely perfect with no issues whatsoever. So as you recall, this started out as a 1996 Japanese fire truck. It was imported by the Japanese Fire Service. They take impeccable care of their vehicles. This has really only got about 7,500 original miles on it from 1996. They went ahead, they've done all the servicing on it. They've made sure it never leaked a single fluid. I mean, when it left Japan, it was still like a brand new truck. So we took it, and you saw in the beginning of the rolls, it was just had a firebox on the back here, and we took all that off. We went ahead and we even cut the frame in half, stretched it 30 inches, and then went ahead and proceeded with the build. But in that process, after that was done, we went through, we redid the entire suspension system on this thing. We took all the old stuff out. This thing came with tiny little donut tires on them. Not only that, they were as hard as rock, because I think they were still the original tires from 1996. We went ahead and put an 8-inch lift kit in here. We added the Toyo Open Country on super singles, went ahead and put the whole thing together, and it turned out to ride absolutely better than it did before. Then once that was all done, we went ahead and started developing the box design. As you see, we went with a tree house, or what we call a cab over design here. We then went ahead and installed our pass-through and incorporated all the outside functions. We have our outside awning, we have an outside kitchen, we went ahead and put an outside shower on board, and then we also included an outside water port so you could hook up a hose if you had to hose things off. We also installed a propane line outside to hook up to the outside kitchen. We went ahead and tried to also think, how can we still keep some of the fire truck portion of this incorporated? How can we still keep just some of the memory of the fire truck? And throughout the build, when you start looking at it and through the different videos, you're going to see certain things. You know, we went ahead and built this ladder to get up on the roof, but also for egress to meet the DOT requirements. But these little steps here came on the original fire truck. They were on the back of the box, so the firemen could reach up into the truck and grab the hoses or axes, whatever else they needed off it. As you can see, we went ahead and installed acrylic windows. These are all pop-out windows that include the sunshade, blackout curtain, and their screen. These things work great. They tip out to about a 75-degree angle, so it still allows enough water shedding to come off during a heavy rainstorm. But they also give a ton of ventilation into the truck, and then also keeping all the bugs out. The door is a turn-overland door, which also encompasses a full-size screen inside, and it has a what they call Wildlands thermal blanket that goes on the door on the inside, so during the colder weather it gives another insulating factor. The box was built in our shop. It was a design that we've come up with, and it has a 3-inch thick walls all the way around it with a polyisotherm foam. It's a steel constructed box. We've looked into the aluminum, and cost was one of the biggest factors. The second factor was, after speaking with several different mechanical engineering companies and through our own mechanical engineer that we use on staff, it wasn't going to have exactly the same strength we wanted with the steel. The steel allows us a little bit more flexibility when it comes to spacing on wall structures and so forth. The skin we use is an anodized metal skin. It comes with like a 50-year warranty on it. That was the other biggest thing. That was another cost-saving factors to us. We want to make sure this thing's not going to rust or rot out over time. We then went in and had a wrap installed on the side of the truck. Underneath this wrap is almost the same colored gray that you see right here. We did that because we wanted to have this topographical look to it. We want to make sure that people know you're traveling out to the unknown, you're doing certain things off-grid. And again, this was one of our clients' requests. This truck is for a client, and that's why we went through and did some of the things, again, with their approval, and they're very happy with the way the truck came out. We then went ahead and also added in a handrail, and the way this handrail works, pull the handrail off the side of the truck here, this slides out, encompassed with the door stairs, that we can slide out. You've got yourself a pretty secure area for walking in and out of the truck. And again, we'll get into more of the stuff inside the truck in another video later on. We went ahead and incorporated again some of the old fire truck portions. We put on the old grab handles that were on the truck. We went ahead also and Raptor lined the entire frame, all of the exterior armor plating that we put on all of our boxes now too. This is a 3" by 3" right angle that we completely sandblast down after we go ahead and form them, and then we spray them with a 2-part primer epoxy, and then turn them around and spray them with Raptor liner as well. We've done that to all of the exterior components, such as the brush deflection guard that you see up on the roof there, all of the armor, the entire frame, the wheel wells, ladder, and then we also did the body panels, the plastic body panels. You're going to scratch it up. That's what these were designed for. They're not designed to be parking lot dwellers and sit out there and look pretty. They're designed to take you, get out in the middle of nowhere, and enjoy the peace and quiet. And if you're one of those people that wants to be left alone, that's what this is for. This is to get yourself out in the middle of nowhere. The truck's got enough solar and batteries on board. It's got water filtration on board. You can sit out there for as long as you need to. As long as your food supply lasts, and as long as you can get clean water, the truck will last. The solar system alone can run the truck. So transitioning around to the front of the truck, let's go over some of the things we did on the truck that you saw in the build series as well. In the build series, you remember we built this custom bumper in the shop. We were talking about the height of the original brush guard. That was up to about here. I did not like it. After talking to the fabricator, he was like, yeah, we need to cut that thing down. You can see that we do that in the video. But we brought it down. We wanted to bring it into the lines of the truck, the body lines. They came from the factory, and we just wanted to look more original as possible to the truck. We didn't want it to look completely out of place. So this was the perfect height. We're happy with this. That roof rack was also built in-house. We do a lot of our accessories in shop because it's kind of a play on design as we're building them. We come up with different things. We'll try something that doesn't work. We'll scrap that one. We'll go to the next idea. We went with these aux beams lights. Again, this was off of the client's request. He wanted to kind of keep the whole original off-road 80s, 70s, 80s type looking lights. These are all LED, but they still have kind of that retro look to them, more or less, is what he was going for. One of the nice things about these aux beams, these are amber. This, again, can be used in any type of inclement weather, snow, fog, whatever. But we encompassed them into the bumper here and tied them into the original fog light system. So the original switch turns on these two down here. And what we like about this, the original ones were white, and we wanted to be able to still keep that. So you take off the lens, and now you got your regular old white driving lights that you could use. And this takes what, less than 30 seconds. Snap these off, throw them in the truck. Now you've got another set of lights to go down the road. The original headlights on this truck were these projector lenses. The only thing that we did differently was we upgraded the bulbs in them, so they're a little bit more brighter. They put out a little bit more light. And this is kind of like your driving light. When you're driving during the daytime, that's on. You flip them on, that comes on, so you're not using the actual projector lens and blinding somebody. But again, that was just something original from the truck we wanted to keep and encompass into the build. We did go ahead and install this Badlands winch. Now everyone says, yeah, Badlands winch is from Harbor Freight. Well, let me tell you something. We've been very impressed with these winches. We've used them on several different types of builds. We've done a lot of testing with it so far, and we've been very impressed. Everything that we've put this thing through, we have had zero issues with it. This truck weighs in at 13,000 pounds. So this is rated at 12,000. Yes, it's under the weight of the truck, but if we go ahead and incorporate that with 2 snatch blocks, you do the math, we've just tripled the pulling capacity of the truck. And those are on board underneath the seats in the back of the cab here. So again, that was a request of the client, and we're glad that worked out for him. So moving around the truck here, we still brought the wrap all the way around. We went ahead and have all the topographical lines follow. So if you're looking at this topographical line, it maps up with the top ones there on the roof and so forth around the body of the truck. We went with the KC newer daylighters up on the roof. A little more modern, but yet still kind of had that retro look. So when you take those off, you've got a nice 7-inch round off-road light, really bright white light. Then in the roof rack, we went ahead and incorporated 2 big storage boxes. They are waterproof and dustproof. And up there you can keep all your recovery gear or extra gear. Maybe it's some folding out chairs or something. We've also got a BioLite fireplace up there, so if he's outside he can sit that on the ground, turn on his, light his fire, and he's got that all encompassed into his own little fireplace. And then we can keep all of our tools, your impacts, your sockets, and so forth. So everything's up there. We also incorporated like a shovel and an axe. It's also got a chainsaw up there on board. It's all electric, so you can charge that off the solar system, put your M18 battery into it, and off you go to the races, so you're good to go. We try to keep that in mind too. For a lot of the tools that are on board this truck, we picked Milwaukee. We're not affiliated with them. We told the client, let's go ahead and put that on board. We use it in the shop, it works great, and we're gonna put some of those same tools on board in your truck so you have them, and we know that they will stand the test of time and they'll also work for what your capabilities are and what you have to do with the truck. And again, we're not sponsored by them, but just want to throw it there. Good tools, and they work well. So all that's up inside the rack, because on these trucks, storage is everything. You have to utilize every single spot on this truck for storage, whether it's an ashtray, a glove box, a main storage compartment inside the habitat, the driver's cab, or up on the roof, or even boxes you have outside. Storage is everything, on top of your solar and on top of your water. Those are the three main things you need to make sure you utilize as much as you can, because you're going to get somewhere and realize, oh crap, I forgot that. And if it's something you can keep on the truck on board on a regular basis, you've got it. It's nothing to worry about. This is the passenger side here now. Originally we had these two batteries here for 24 volts for the truck, and then I added this third battery into the truck, and that is 12 volts. What I did there was, coming off the alternator, we did a DC to DC charger, but then I added a step down converter to go to 12 volts just for that. So the original battery's still getting charged 24 volt. That battery's getting charged off of 12 volts, and that's running all the radio and communication systems inside the truck. We added so many different communication systems in the truck, it's crazy. So we added a ham radio, we added a DMR radio, we added an internet radio, we added a satellite phone, we added Starlink onto this truck, so he's got his internet. We thought of everything we could. It's even got a Wii boost, so if he's in a low signal area and he can still use his cell phone, he can boost that up. But again, we wanted to have it set up to where that third battery there is running those systems. So if in the event there was some type of electrical issue, something that may have ran a short through the truck, it can't get past the two separate systems. It's not like one can go into the other one and backfeed. We put the isolator in there, and then we've also got relays in place, so those will go first in the event something goes wrong. So the other nice thing about this third battery is there is a separate trickle charge solar panel on the roof. So when the truck's not running the whole time, that thing is getting charged just by the sun. Even on a day like today where we've got some overcast, it's producing a little bit of a charge and keeping that battery up to par for us when we need it. So moving on, like I talked about, we incorporated a lot of some of the things from the fire truck. Some of the armor panels in here, which is what they call a 5-bar check plate or diamond plating, cut out of that bed and we put it onto the sides of the truck. We used it here to protect the truck's front of the habitat from the wheels kicking up rocks and so forth to it. And if you look, it's already got some chips in it just from driving it around. Moving on, we went ahead and used a cassette toilet on this truck. We've used anywhere from Nature's Head, which is a composting toilet, the cassette toilets, or a regular RV toilet that flushes into a black water tank. These are nice because the black water tank is built into the toilet itself. So it's about the size of a suitcase, and in fact we'll show you what it looks like here. Everyone's going to be thinking, oh wow, it's really gross. It's actually not. This is the cassette itself right here. This whole thing, you just grab it, pull it out, you wheel it over to your dump station, you turn the neck, you press a button. You're not touching anything with your hands, so you're not getting the stuff everyone thinks about. But it's nice because they're clean, they're easy to work with, and then what we'll do is we'll buy a separate tank for the truck you could store up into your storage area. You pull this one out, you slap the other one in there, you move on. Maybe you not want to drive around with that up on your roof rack, but it's not going to leak anyway. But again, it's something you could walk into a restroom at a truck stop or a rest stop, dump it into the toilet, and you've got no problems. So the gray water tank is tied into the wet bath and it's tied into the kitchen area. It's just soapy water. It's not anything that's going to be harmful to the environment or anything. Again, when we get these trucks done, we go through the DOT inspection. We make sure they meet all the compliances that they have to be now reclassified as an RV. So one of the things we do want to have on board is our gray water tank. Moving on, you probably saw this track thing here along the sides of the truck. This is L-track. This is all screwed right into the actual frame of the truck. We've made some provisions on the uprights to allow this to be anchored right to it, but you could hang, you can hang a hammock off this, you can hang a lot off these things. There's all kinds of different attachments that come with it. They have hooks, they have carabiner setups, they have a whole bunch of different things for straps, axes, high lift jacks, you name it, you can attach right to this. We incorporated this because we wanted to have some place to attach things like your hammocks and other things when you're out camping. Moving on to the side here, this here is your standard RV hot water tank. It is 10 gallons. It's a propane and electric hot water tank. So we like to use them on propane. They sip propane, and I mean that. They take very little propane to heat these tanks up. And not only that, you got 10 gallons of water on top of the 50 gallons on board in the truck. So you got really 60 gallons of water on board. They work very well. They're very efficient. And we use those, and on top of that we will also use the instant demand hot water heaters that a lot of people like to go to now as well, and those run off of propane as well. It takes a lot of power to run off electric, and in tests we noticed that it was running the batteries down quicker than what the solar was putting it back in. So we recommend, if you want to dual fuel, run it off the propane as much as you can. Again, we've got our acrylic windows on board. We have cameras all the way around the truck. These are on a DVR motion activated camera system, so it's more for protection, I guess is the best way to say it, or something happens to the truck. You've now got it. I mean, this is the new era. Everyone records stuff with their phones. Everyone records stuff with Ring video, doorbells, and so forth. Well, let's incorporate it into your mobile home. You know, if you're going to be out there and you need to have a record or something, now you've got it. So those are all the way around the truck. They do have night vision on board. Here we've got our gravity feed water fill. Like I said before, we have a 50-gallon water tank on board on the truck. And it's right in this general area right here. This is actually the access to the drains on it, the fill level indicators, circuitry, and switches and so forth. So guys, let's pick up on the back of the truck here. As you see this little box here, this is the controls for the jib crane winch. It has a wired and wireless controller just like the front winch. And again, the reason for that is these tires weigh in at about 100 to 183 pounds. 3/8 plate steel, they're a little heavy and cumbersome. I personally wouldn't want to be lifting that thing off the truck if they had a flat inside of the highway or something, or on a back road, wherever it be. So by putting that on there, you can hook it around it, lower the tire to the ground, change your flat out, bring it back, put it back on. So again, useful tool, and it can be used for a number of things. So let's go over here to the tank. A lot of people ask me, is that keg or something? I'm like, no, it's not a keg. That is a spun aluminum diesel tank. It's about 4 to 4.5 gallons worth of fuel. The reason why we have this back here is we want to keep our fuel source for our heat and any other diesel accessory inside the truck completely separate from the main fuel source on the truck. You don't want to be sitting there and you're using your fuel because you're sipping off the tank to run those accessories, and before you know it, you get in your truck, you go drive away, and you realize, holy moly, as I've been out here for a week, I used to have a tank of my fuel. I don't know if I'm going to make it to a gas station. Put these tank on, you can read the gauge from the top, you know where you are on your fuel, you know you're not pulling off the main fuel source, and if you do run low on that, you have your extra fuel on board to refill it if you're going to stay out for a longer period of time. But again, it's just another redundancy thing that we put in, and we like to have this fuel separate from the main fuel source. Down here we installed some of these traction boards. You're out there alone, you get stuck in some deep mud or something. The use of these, you can put underneath the front of the tire, get a little of that extra traction you need, a little more flotation out of the tire if you need so as well, and distribute some of that weight, hopefully get it up out of the suction portion of the mud. And encompass with that with your winch and the snatch boxes, you should be able to get yourself out of most situations 90% of the time. So let's move on over to the other side over here. We installed an 11-pound propane tank. We have 2 of these on boards like I talked about before. The other one's up in the front rack. The truck sips propane. Between the water heater and the stove, it's such a small amount, it's crazy. I filled this back about a month after we started building the truck because I just wanted to check weights and I wanted to check some other things. And we've been using it quite a bit, testing the systems. We've taken the truck out a couple times camping, and I am still just a little bit below a full tank. You can even utilize one of those ones you pick up at a regular gas station. You walk in, you swap it out, throw one on there, you're good to go. So moving on, let's again talk about how we tried to incorporate some of the old fire truck. You guys see this diamond plate up here. We call this 5-bar diamond plate or 5-bar check plate. It's a European style diamond plate. We got the ones that kind of look like little stars and everything here in the States. That's their diamond plate over in Europe and other countries. That was the actual bed of the original fire truck where they kept the hoses and the fire extinguishers and their breathing apparatuses and stuff. And again, we wanted to still keep some of the old fire truck on board. So we utilized it for things like behind the crane, underneath here for just like rock deflection and so forth. People have been asking me about this thing here. It's a telescoping antenna. I talked about that a little bit earlier. The owner, he wanted to be able to put his weather station on top of it. You know, that way he can check the weather. He can put that mast up. He can set up his little weather station that snaps to the top of it. It's Bluetooth to the inside to a screen, and he can see what's going on. He can do real-time weather right there on the site and in the environment he's actually in. And also, we put in that 360 camera. It's DVR. It's motion activated. It's got thermal and night vision on it. So you're out in the middle of somewhere. It's snowing. It's foggy. Whatever. You can't see. It's nighttime. Maybe the night vision can't pick it up. Well, guess what? The thermal can. He wanted to have that one more feeling of security when he's out there alone, or if he's out there with his family, you know, he knows what's going on. Well, let's move on to some of the other stuff up there. You guys see 2 cameras. Again, I talked about the truck Habitat has its own camera system that links to a screen in the front of the truck as well. Again, motion activated, DVR'd. We also came across these solar powered cameras that are out now. You can stick it anywhere. I could take it off there right now and I could stick it down here by the license plate and use it for strictly a backup camera. It's motion activated, it's got a DVR built into it, and it connects to the screen up in the front of the truck also. Nice thing about it, again, it's solar powered. There's no wires. You know, I don't have to plug something in to make it work. It's just put it out in the sun when you first get it, let it come up to charge. There's some indicator lights on it to tell you its charge level. And then pretty much once it's been charged, it hasn't decharged on us. And we run that thing non-stop. It's always going right now. But again, really good system. Absolutely love it. We'll continue to use that in all the builds we're doing from here on in. All right, guys, that pretty much wraps up the outside walk around on the Canter series. This has been an awesome, fun build. We really appreciate you guys tuning in and watching this. So we're going to have some new stuff coming up here probably in the next few days. Check it out. We're going to have the interior of the Canter build series, which we've done some really cool stuff, and we'll talk about some of the things I mentioned in the other videos. So guys, have a great day. Enjoy overlanding. We'll talk to you later.